He's not the final vote here. He's the second vote. They need one more will kill this. And as they said in The Princess Bride about the night, this bill is mostly dead at this point. You've got Rand Paul, a firm no, because he says it doesn't repeal Obamacare. You've got Mccain now a firm no, because he says basically this is an ugly way to pass a bill without going through hearings, without getting a CBO score, which they're not going to get next week. So now they just need one more, the opponents, and this goes down, and basically repealing and replacing Obamacare is dead for the foreseeable future. And I would say it is more likely than not that they will get that third vote. You've got Susan Collins, who's voted against every one of these. You've got Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, who's voted against every one of these, and a bunch of others. It really is just hanging on by a thread here.
What would be the next step, say, as you say, for example, Susan Collins, who's said to be leaning against it, leans all the way. Does Senator McConnell still bring it to the floor just to say that one of those situations you sometimes see in Washington, to have a vote to say that we had one?
That is probably the biggest issue right now, what they would do. Some people say, look, it doesn't do any good for anybody to have a vote and go down to defeat. It just is to the degree that a lot of your base is upset already with the fact that Obamacare repeal and replace has gone nowhere with the Republican House, Senate, and White House. This is only going to rub salt into that wound. But there's other thought, and there has been some talk from the White House. But let's put these people on the record. Let's make it clear. I'm not sure that in the long run that's what Mitch McConnell will want, however, because you got to figure he wants to protect all these members who are up for election in 2018 or subsequent elections.
Right. Now, speaking of talk from the White House, the president is at a political rally, as we mentioned a few moments ago, this evening in Alabama. I would have to think that's appointment television, given the politics we've seen this afternoon, on top of, obviously, everything else that's going on in North Korea and what have you. But well, we'll see how he handles it, I guess.
That and also, that's a very interesting race, because that's almost a race between the establishment and the base. You've got Luther Strange, who was appointed by the governor, who is very much backed, as all incumbent Republicans are, by Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. He's put money in there. His PAC has, and the president has gone along with that as well. And then you have the insurgent Roy Moore, the former Chief Justice of the state Supreme Court, who was taken out of office because he put the Ten Commandments in the lobby of the Supreme Court, very much part of the Bannon wing of the party. Bannon has been supporting him. So in a funny way, you've got Trump on the side of McConnell against Bannon. You wonder how much his heart is in it, and it'll be interesting to see what the president has to say. He's not very good when his heart isn't in something, and he's kind of having to say what he thinks he should say, but not really what he wants to say.
Usually we can tell. You're right about that. Now, let me ask you about Fox News Sunday, because you have, as your guest this Sunday, one of the guy who's probably been known as one of the big gets, as we say, in the business television arena forever, right? Bill Gates, I mean, coming off UN week. I'm sure that's pretty exciting. What are you guys going to talk about?
Well, actually, we did the interview on Wednesday. He was in New York for the UN General Assembly because a lot of world leaders were there, a lot of opinion makers. And we talk about the Gates Foundation. Folks may know, but it is the single largest private charitable foundation in the world. Since it was founded in 2000, it has given more than $40 billion to more than 100 countries for public health and development to save literally millions of lives. One of his concerns is the fact that President Trump in his new budget calls for cutting back, not ending, but cutting back a lot of foreign aid on development and public health, also calls for cuts in the National Institutes of Health. And I think he wants to talk about that. But we get into other subjects as well, and for a lot of your business audience, and particularly given the segment you just had on before me, I ask him, given his famously